This is one of the most spectacular examples of racial cooperation in nature. To defend against the extreme cold of the far north, more than 4,000 penguin fathers have formed a supergroup chat. They stand one by one, shoulder to shoulder, pressed close. This huddling for warmth greatly improves the colony's survival rate. In a blizzard below -60 degrees, few creatures can fight it alone. This is Antarctica, the continent with the lowest temperatures, the most storms, and the harshest environment on Earth. Weeks ago, this was open sea. But as summer ends and the sun's heat diminishes, the sea areas surrounding Antarctica begin the freezing process. The ice extends several kilometers daily. In just a few weeks, the immense ocean turns into expansive fields of ice. Animals flee the cold for warmer wintering spots, but they hesitate. Animals just arrived. Each year during the winter season, the flocks of penguins depart from their marine habitats to reach this icy bay area. The reason they come here is that the Antarctic ice sheet provides them with a safe breeding ground. It's a journey over 100 kilometers long. Thousands upon thousands of penguins line up in an orderly queue, waddling toward the inland area of Bouvet Island. 2 weeks after much hardship, they finally reach their destination. For the next 9 months, they will marry and have chicks here, completing a marvelous cycle of life. But before that, they must hold a grand matchmaking convention to find the other half of their penguin lives. Although they repair every year, when the penguins choose, the partnership is still very serious. They express their affection by wobbling. Being a family means being perfectly lined up. When both sides move in sync, it means they have successfully paired up. The male penguin feels breeding pressure and wants to perform well during mating. But the young penguin is still inexperienced with some skills. Then he messed up on the spot. It was very awkward then. More females than males means not all penguins find a match. When this couple tried exploring again, a jealous single female interfered in their relationship. The intimate moment of the young couple disrupted again. The fierce air is off. At this moment, he wouldn't hesitate to act just because the opponent is a girl. He must appear very angry to show his devotion to his wife. The love-defense battle starts. Such a lively scene naturally can't be without the onlookers. Facing the mixed doubles attack from the newlyweds, the third party finally chose to surrender and left this sad place alone. Driving away the love obstacle, this couple can finally make eggs in peace. For the coming several weeks, the female penguin starts nurturing the chick, and the male penguin will remain inseparable from his spouse. To become qualified parents during this time, the penguin couple will use snowballs to practice childcare in advance, making full preparations for the baby to come. The final touchdown. Antarctica entered the long polar night. These nights last over 100 days. The male penguin still walked with his wife daily. However, as they were walking that day, his wife abruptly stopped moving. Did she sense something? Accompanied by intense abdominal contractions, an egg dropped out of her belly. The male penguin was thrilled by the egg. He was finally going to become a father. However, the process of giving birth drained a massive amount of energy from his wife, and since she hadn't eaten for more than a month, this penguin looked extremely frail at this moment. So his wife could quickly return to the sea for nutrients. The male penguin decided to immediately take over incubating the egg. The parents were very cautious with every move. The handover process couldn't allow even a small mistake. Here, where it is 20 degrees below zero, the exposed penguin egg could become an ice egg in a second each night. Okay, because they practiced beforehand, everything went smoothly. Now the penguin mother can leave, but she looks a bit reluctant. For a female who has just become a mother, separating from her child is undoubtedly the most difficult choice. She only wants to see her baby a bit longer. Every outing for the female penguin is fraught with danger. The first meeting between mother and chick might very well be their last. After many warnings, the mother penguin reluctantly turned to leave. Watching his wife walk away, the male penguin felt the same reluctance. Over the course of the subsequent 2 months, she alone must shoulder the immense burden of raising their young. For her, the real hardship has only just begun. As the last group of female penguins departed, the biting cold wind originating from the Antarctic continent officially arrived. The temperature suddenly went below zero. 40 degrees. The fathers alone cannot fight this harsh cold. To keep themselves and their eggs alive, the penguin fathers show nature's most spectacular teamwork. They carefully shift their steps, a giant dragon one after another, huddled tightly, shoulder to shoulder. In this way, the penguin fathers spend several days forming a giant incubator with their own bodies. The center temperature can reach 38 Celsius, though everyone wants a warm, good spot. But they won't let the edge penguins freeze outside. When the outer layer can't take it, they move inside. They cycle like this, repeatedly, jointly protecting the seed of life. From far away, the scene is shocking. The whole group of penguins keeps shifting and reforming their ranks without stopping. However, the winter blizzards are becoming more frequent. Temperatures dropped to minus 60 Celsius. The raging storm almost submerged the colony. Outer penguins endure strong winds up to 160 kph. Their endurance is at its limit. No other choice. They must leave the group, quickly detour to the sheltered side to survive. In this extreme cold, moving becomes exceptionally difficult. A penguin father accidentally fell. Down, he struggled to get up but dared not use force. If he fails, the penguin egg under his feet will slip out, and the embryo inside the egg will quickly freeze solid. And those behind, they're pushing now. No choice. He had to frantically paddle his short arms, moving forward just by his mouth. Whatever the dad's tough situation they were in, the eggs underfoot were always guarded closely. If they want to survive here, they have to hold on tight. Even Antarctica's cruelty pauses sometimes. After a week of raging blizzards finally stopped. This was the moment the penguin fathers finally had a chance to stretch and relax. But the group's losses showed up too. A number of the young ones failed to make it until springtime arrived. Even some of the fathers didn't pull through. Ice and snow will hide it all. And the survivors' fathers can't slack off. The blizzard pushed them 1 mile off course. They must get back to safety quickly, so they can gather together again to brace for the next storm's onslaught. During this long winter, they do not know how many more times they will endure such merciless devastation. After almost 3 dark months, they finally saw some light. The sun appeared again in the Antarctic sky. At the same time, the penguin chicks, who have been sleeping for 4 months, are finally about to wake up. The penguins are breaking out one after another. The hard hatching is finally paying off. The fathers started bragging to neighbors. The penguin dads haven't eaten all winter. but they still have their final reserves remaining within them. This is their first meal for the chicks, but this only sustains the young for days. If they cannot obtain food in time, they will all face a test of survival. Fortunately, a ray of hope quietly rises on the other side of the horizon. The mothers are back. They are all well fed and strong, and their bellies are full of food for the young. This is what the babies need. Seeing their wives return, the male penguins could not hide their excitement and sang out to call their mates. This is the first family reunion. In cruel nature, nothing is more meaningful than today. And the fathers are back now, sighed in relief. He wanted his wife to watch the baby. But the little penguin, who had never seen its mother since birth, absolutely refused to come down from its father's feet. The father penguin had to toss it out. This was the first time the chicks tasted the deliciousness of seafood. The little penguins that ate fish grew very quickly. Most penguin families reunited during this time, but unfortunately, tragedies would still occur. Some babies missed their mothers. This chick was one of the unlucky ones. Its mother never returned. It was compelled to seek out a new family unit. Regrettably, this female penguin already had her own children. However, luckily, some of the females who had lost their own young would take in some of the orphans, bestowing upon them abundant maternal affection. The grieving mother penguin's instinct is very strong. They even fight over adopting orphans. And these conflicts frequently conclude with a tragic ending, because the poor penguin chick gets trampled to death by them. As the sun gradually rises higher, the ice layer slowly warms up. Next, the emperor penguin's icy world will begin to melt. Over the past few weeks, the penguin mother and father have taken turns caring for their little baby. After they have eaten enough, the chick loves to hide under dad for warmth, just showing a cute little butt. However, the father is quite displeased with this. He thinks the little penguin is old enough to be independent. It stood up. He then cruelly forced it out, yet departing from the comforting warmth of its parents demanded quite a bit of determination. The little penguin refused to leave at all and quickly burrowed back in. Following some pushing and shoving, the father threw it out again. The little penguin felt wronged and begged its dad for a hug. But the father wouldn't indulge it because learning independence is a required lesson for every baby's growth. To show his great fatherly love, the father kicked the little penguin out. With the little penguin's appetite increasing daily, both parents needed to leave to find food just to keep it alive. This marked the penguin baby's initial separation from its parents' care, and it couldn't comprehend the reason for their departure. A powerful instinct compelled it to look for solace from a grown-up penguin, but if it sought the wrong one, the grumpy older female would not only neglect it, but would also take on a parental role. Hit him. The little guy cried out in pain, but kids are always playful, and even the little penguins are no exception. Soon, he found new friends and completely forgot his previous worries. The increasingly intense sunlight seemed to foreshadow their bright future. But sudden cold snaps happen often in the Antarctic. When the temperature drops to -25°C, these remaining babies huddle together to form a cute toddler kindergarten. They nestle close to one another, shoulder to shoulder, helping each other and supporting each other, just like their fathers did. Even without the protection of the adult penguins, they can completely withstand the blizzard, waiting for the day their parents return.